Hello, beloved friends. Good to see you again and have you on this channel, the I Commune to Us channel. I am still your host, ChuksDeLifeCoach. In our last video, we were able to present to you the training packages that we have, and I believe you savored the introductory contents of those packages, and you are desiring and eagerly waiting to have a whole meal of those packages. They will come your way shortly as God will help us. We are putting together a webinar that will invite you to be with us so that we can unfold those packages for you to get the whole contents. Today I want to just take a quick look at life with you. On this video, I just want us to take a quick look at life. Life means several things to several people, different people. They see life in different ways, and the way they see it, they pursue it that way. But we are told that things are not what they seem to be. If that statement is true, then one need to search out what things are actually are. Now, people may not be that patient or determined to find out the reality of things they see, so they take things the way they see it. You understand? So that is why I think it is important that we have this time together to look at life. Just quickly, we're not going to see everything about life, just a quick and short look at some important issues about life. Now, what is life? English dictionary defined it as qualities that differentiates animate things from inanimate things, and many other definitions they have for it. So, but I want to say that life is an abstract noun, and as a result, it cannot be counted or measured by itself. Life cannot be counted or measured by itself because it is an abstract noun. I believe you agree with me that life is an abstract noun. Nevertheless, life can be measured by other instruments of measurement. Life can be measured in different capacities, with other instruments of measurement. For instance, the length of life is measured with the instrument of time. Now, it is time that we use to measure the length of life. When a baby is born, now if you have witnessed where a delivery of baby is taken, you discover that once the baby comes out of the womb, now the midwife looks at his time, he looks at his watch or looks at the clock. He observes what time the baby came out. And in their delivery reports, they always present it, they indicate that time, telling you how important it is. And from then, the life of that baby is beginning to count, and they're counting the life with time, and that shows us the length of it. From that 1 minute or second that it came out, 1 hour, 2 days, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, and it celebrates the birthday every year, counting the life by time. It tells us the length of life. So life is measured with the instrument of time. Now, life also could be measured. The height of life could also be measured by the achievement of the person who possessed it. Now, life can be measured in terms of height by what the achievement of the person who possessed it. So it is, and I want to say that the height of life is relative to the length of life, because it is as the length increases, so also should the height increase. But the society has painted a picture that tries to separate the two, And that is why you see somebody at the age of 16, 17, he wants to ride a Lexus Jeep. That is why you see somebody, that is yet, to get to the adulthood. He wants to do the things that his father never did at the age of 50 or 60. And so, because they try not to separate the two, but it is not wise to do so, because if you do so, you get yourselves into a lot of delusion, a lot of deception. So the height of life is measured by the achievement of the person who possessed it. Then life could also be measured in terms of depth. In terms of depth. The depth of one's life is measured by the value system one upholds. It is the value system that you uphold that tells us the depth of your life. And you and I know that it is the depth of a foundation that determines what you put on top. You can't just dig a foundation for a story building and you want to put a 5-story on top of it. It will not hold. It will not hold. So it is the depth of a life that determines what it carries. And many people, their life is so shallow. It's so shallow that anything goes. Anything goes as far as life is concerned. As far as they get something to eat, as far as they have their way, it doesn't matter. But it shouldn't be so. It is the value system that you uphold that gives your life depth. That gives depth to your life. Life could also be measured in terms of breadth. The breadth of life is measured with the scope of its influence that tells us the breadth of a life. It is the scope of its influence. How far have your life influenced people and your environment? How far? And when I say influence, I must also point out that the influence must be positive for it to be valuable. If it is a negative influence, some people can have a wide scope, but negative influence in that as a matter. So the breadth of life is measured in terms of the scope of its influence, and the depth is measured in terms of the value system one upholds. Now, life could also be measured in terms of quality. The quality of a person's life is measured by the characters and attitudes that he exhibits. It is the characters and the attitudes that one exhibits that tells us the quality of one's life. The quality of one's life. So, my friend, appraise yourself. Appraise yourself. What are the characters that you are exhibiting in your place of work, in your family, in your business arena, in business circle? What character and attitude are you displaying? It shows the quality of your life. Life could also be measured in terms of quantity, and we measure the quantity of life by the amount of money under its control. And this is what everybody is gunning for. Yeah, everybody. Now, the other 4 aspects of measurement of life that we mentioned, many people don't think about that. All they are doing and all they are thinking, going to bed thinking, waking up thinking, is how to increase the quantity of their life. So, needless to say, that the capacity of measurement of quantity of life has overshadowed every other capacity. Whenever a person's life is in focus, anytime somebody's name is mentioned, anytime a person's life is being considered, that is what the society looks at. And as a result of that, everybody is pursuing to increase the quantity of their life without due consideration for other areas. So they go out all the way to make the money, to get the money. So in pursuit of money, oftentimes we mortgage our lives. In terms of time, we mortgage our lives. People cut short their life. They cut short their life because they sacrifice the quantity of the length of their life to get money. And that is why you see people, they make the money at the age of 37, they are dead, obituary everywhere at the age of 40, at the age of 20, that, because the length of their life, they have cut it short, sacrificed it to increase the quantity of their lives. So people must gauge their relationships. They must gauge lives in terms of relationship. We must gauge our lives in terms of relationship. Just because we want to increase the quantity, we must get the scope of influence. We don't care about it, whether it is good, negative, we don't care. Just because we want to increase the quantity of our life, we compromise character to a great extent because we want to increase the quantity of our life. We compromise character, and they tell you that the end justifies the means, which for me it is a language from hell that they has used to deceive so many people. So many people. So friends, we must be careful with the things we do as we, work, as we try to increase the quantity of our lives. Very, very important. And I want to also tell us that the height and breadth of life, now, somehow, they are partly, functions of one's financial capacity. Partly. Why do I say so? Because it is your achievement most of the times that will influence your that will give you the ability to influence others. It is your achievement that gives you the ability to influence others, and it is also depending on what you have, because when I talk about influence, it's not about money. It's not every time that you can influence somebody in many other ways, that is not financially. So this is what I want us to understand, that the height and breadth of life are partly function of one's financial capacity, and these are the areas society looks at when they are trying to grade somebody or classify a man. It is the financial capacity, it is the quantity of life that they look at. That is what they look at to grade a man and to classify him, which is a very erroneous means of assessment. But that is what the society has offered. And many people, like I said, who wouldn't have time to search out the real thing and the patience and determination to find out the real thing, take things the way they are, as they seem. But it's not, things are not what as they seems to be. What it seems to be. So that is it. And also important to note is that the length of one's life is greatly affected by one's financial capacity, because it determines how you use your time. It determines how you use your time. Who controls your time is depending on your financial capacity. If you are financially free, you will be in control. Otherwise, your employer or your benefactor will be in charge. He determines the time you go to bed and when you wake up. He tells you where to be at what time. And because you need the job so that you can eat and pay your bills, you make sure you follow his directives. You make sure you follow his directives. So, but in such a case, we describe such a person as a financial prisoner, but you can actually free yourself. The package on managing personal finance can help you do that. If you will join us in that during the webinar to get the whole content of that package, it will help you to free yourself. So this is, like I said, a quick look at life. So if I should put this measurement of life in a mathematical form, it will go like this: time plus achievement is equal to height. Time plus achievement divided by scope of influence is equal to breadth. Time plus value system is equal to depth. And MUC, that is money under control, equals to quantity of life. So this is a quick look at life, and I want to believe that you have gotten one or two things from this video. And like I used to say, if the video has impacted your life, please share it. If it has impacted your life, let friends and relatives know about it, share it, and subscribe to our channel so that you got to know when the next video is out. I remain your host, Chuks the Life Coach. Thank you. See you in our next video.